Hi everybody, we're going to do a live broadcast today. We're talking about improving relationships by utilizing 4 communication styles. So let's look at the first style. The first style of communication is passive communication. The second one is passive aggressive. The third one is aggressive. And the fourth one is assertive. Now, if we look at the assertive communication style, that's the most effective communication style to use. And now the passive communication style tends to be one that causes people a lot of problems. So you might be talking to somebody right now that pretty much uses a passive style of communication. The reason why it's so difficult is you may not get an exact answer from that person. They may just give you an answer just to suffice and please you. So they may not be giving you a direct answer. And that passive approach pretty much gets them off the hook. So if they're asked to give a decisive answer, they just may give you a passive response because it's easier for them to deal with it. A lot of times if you have a passive, maybe a passive personality, or if you have a passive communication style, you may have some difficulty confronting people in a healthy way because you worry about the outcome. You worry about what other people are going to think, say, and do. So therefore, you're more worried about the outcome. So something like that happens to somebody, and if you're talking to somebody like this, it's going to be difficult to deal with that. So the only thing you can do is pretty much ask for a direct answer and be consistently asking as an assertive communication style user. Now, the other one is passive aggressive, which is a little bit slightly different than the regular passive way. The passive aggressive is a combination of aggressive, which I'm going to talk to you about in a minute, and passive together. So the person pretty much is asked, "Are you mad at me?" And they say no, but they really are. So they put it off. So a lot of times the passive aggressive person puts off the real answer that they really want to give because they don't want to have any problems with you as the person. So when they get really aggressive, it comes later in places that you don't expect them to be. So they become maybe explosive as a result of that passive aggressive approach. So people like that also need that assertive approach because you're pretty much asking them for the answer and telling them that their aggression is not appropriate for that particular response. And then you have the aggressive personality or the aggressive communication styles, people just doing it by intimidation and fear, imposing fear on the other person when they communicate. So they may be cursing, yelling, screaming, and just acting and posturing in a way that looks very monstrous, puts people uneasy and forces them to behave in such a way that is more manipulative in nature. So that's the aggressive stance that people can use. So these people, you pretty much have to stand to them and be able to confront people that have that aggressive posture and pretty much direct them to it that their behavior is not acceptable to you, and that's it. And you pretty much have to stand up to that person. And a lot of people may not. So unfortunately, the aggressor becomes even more aggressive because now they know they can get one over on you, become a doormat. So you really need to put those interpersonal boundaries up to get that aggressor not to take over you. You need to take over that situation by assertively interjecting statements of confidence. So you have to exude a certain level of confidence in your delivery of the message that you have for that person, and being consistent and following through. So say what you mean and mean what you say, and then that consistency in your voice and consistency in your actions will make that person change over time, or at least it would influence that person. Then you have the assertive style, which works the most effective, and that is the most directive, the most healthiest approach you can have. If more marriages would do that effective communication style, things would probably be a little different. Many women may say that their husbands don't really talk to them or not talk to them enough. So guys, we need to communicate more often than we're doing. So we need to ask more questions and that kind of thing. So sometimes when you're talking to somebody, it's good to ask questions and gather more information so you can draw that situation from them, what they're exactly thinking at the moment in time. So, all right. Hope you enjoyed that today. I'll check you out in the next video. All right, folks, have a nice evening. Take care. Bye.